Hey, this is Trevor from Fox and Hammer. This weekend's project is restoring an old wooden water ski. The first step is to strip down the water ski, take off the bindings, fins. Really, it's just going to help us evaluate the ski and how much work we need to do, and also is going to make it a lot easier to sand and refinish when we're putting it back together. This project took me a couple days, so you're definitely going to want to make sure to store all the screws, mounting plates, binding stuff in a bucket or something. That way you don't misplace it and you have everything you need when you want to put it back together. Make sure you take off all the stickers and mounting plates. It can be a pain in the butt. What I did on this one is actually use a heat gun, but you can very easily substitute a hair dryer. It basically does the same thing. Alright, getting to the fun stuff. So on my last water ski, I sanded the finish off. This one I thought it'd be a little bit easier if I used a stripper. So I got a citrus-based stripper from Home Depot, and effectively all you do is paint it on, leave it for a while, it starts to bubble up, and then you can scrape off the varnish, the paint. This was a huge pain in the butt, but what it does is it lets you scrape off the finish without ruining the contours of the ski, whereas a sander might alter the grooves, the contours of it. This allows you to strip it off without ruining it. The old ski had a ripped front binding, so I went online to Bart's online, and I think for about 10 bucks or so, I got a replacement binding for the front of the ski. The new binding comes with a template, makes it pretty easy to align the new front binding piece. And after that, it's really a matter of filling the old holes, sanding it down, and then screwing the new holes for the front binding. A quick tip to make sure that you don't drill all the way through the bottom of the ski is to put a piece of masking tape on the actual drill bit so you know when to stop, so that way you don't actually go through the back end of the ski. A quick test fit just to make sure everything works and it actually fits the binding, the existing binding, and then we're ready to start sanding. Sanding sucks, there's no two ways about it, but it also has the biggest impact on the final quality of the piece when you're done. Here we decided to put on a cherry stain. I'm just using a simple Minwax stain, one coat on top and bottom before we actually tape it and start painting anything. Now we started actually taping the ski. We're going to go with a chevron pattern. We're having a little bit of trouble with the spacing, so we decided to tape the entire thing and then remove every other piece of tape to reveal the chevron pattern. We are actually painting the ski. What we did was we went to Home Depot and picked out a bunch of color swatches. I got those tiny little tester cans and then just started painting it. Some colors took 2 or 3 coats, some I think took 4 coats, so I just paint it till it looks good. I recruited Annie and her friend Emily to help us out. Turns out if you supply enough white wine, they work for free. Alright, so the painting's done, and really all that's left to do is apply a finish. I use the Helmsman Spar varnish. Use about 2 or 3 coats. I used it on the last ski. It's held up just fine, so no worries with it getting waterlogged or not being able to protect. And it also is going to add a little bit of a yellow tint to it as it dries and sort of gets exposed to the sun. You can also hit it with some steel wool or sandpaper in between coats if you get like little nubs or drips or something. Alright, so final assembly is pretty easy. It's just replacing the fins, the screws, and the front bindings. And just make sure you're careful when you tighten them down to not crack or split any of the bindings. It could be brittle plastic. And there you have it, a fully restored wooden water ski. Check out other projects on foxandhammer.com. Thanks a lot.